The concept and idea of Saltburn is one we've seen a few times over, with a main character, in this case Barry Keoghan, developing this relationship, friendship, and ultimately obsession with this more popular and more handsome person, and he yearns to constantly be their friend or constantly become them. It's a bit like Talented Mr. Ripley, kind of, only not 1/3 as interesting. And I'm gonna be honest with you, like I always am. About an hour into this film, I actually considered walking out. And I know that me saying that makes it sound like I hated this film, I despised it, and it's one of the worst of the year. Not necessarily, no. It's just one of those films that quite simply was not clicking for me at all. I was getting absolutely nothing from it. The events that were happening on screen were not that interesting or entertaining to watch. They're supposed to be having the greatest summer of their lives at this mansion, but a lot of the time they're just sitting around and they don't even look like they're remotely having any kind of fun. And there's a couple of scenes where Barry Keoghan's character does something really gross, really vile, really disgusting, for no good reason. They've actually released one of these scenes online, surprisingly. It's the scene involving the bathtub. That's all I'm gonna say. I'm not even gonna describe the scene because I don't wanna be sick this early in the morning and I've still got a brew to finish. But yeah, why was that in the film? And yes, I know, the point of that scene was to convey that Barry Keoghan's character was becoming more obsessed with Felix. I get that. It's just there was plenty of scenes before that scene and plenty of scenes after that scene that conveyed that point adequately enough. You didn't need the post-bath time pleasure slurpee. Nope. Don't want to exaggerate it too much. There's only 2 or 3 scenes of just really gross, weird shit like that in the film. It's not like Babylon where there's a scene like that every 5 minutes. So it's not in your face, excessive, but all those scenes were just completely unneeded. So yeah, I considered walking out, but I stuck it out. I waited to the end to see how it all wrapped up. And then the ending came, and quite frankly, there's a revelation that just made the whole thing seem a bit daft. It just did. It came across as silly to me. That revelation, coupled with a line that was spoken in the end, made other things in the film not make as much sense, especially that stupid, disgusting, vile bathtub scene. It's like, why was he doing that in the bathtub when in reality he was thinking... I'm trying not to spoil anything, but it just made the whole thing even more perplexing than it already was. I can't call this a terrible film because it is well acted and it is tremendously well made. There are some really good shots in the film, some good camera work, some good cinematography, but again, it was just one of those films that did not click with me at all and I just got nothing out of it. One thing about the film I did appreciate was that it takes place in 2006-2007, my prime childhood years, and there's a couple of scenes where the characters are sitting around reading this with the OG British cover on it. So that was cool.